Hey, Sean, I wanted to talk to you about how to take 10 minutes and have a profound impact on your creative professional business if your creative professional business is something that you want to last for a long time and make you happy. And I'm giving you this advice not as somebody who has mastered this and I'm passing along my expertise to those of you who are far behind me professionally. I'm making this video, and writing this video was a therapeutic reminder of the need for me to do these things myself. And I take the time to do this with some regularity, but not enough regularity. And so here's my advice to you. You need to audit your company. And I don't mean financially, though you may want to do that as well. But what I mean is, as you're growing your creative professional company, whether you're a freelancer, whether you're starting an agency, whatever it is that you're doing in the creative profession, it can be really, really easy with project-based work to allow the momentum of client work and opportunity to put you down a path that wasn't the path you were aiming for when you first got started. And so here's a handful of things that you need to think about from time to time. And by thinking about them, you'll put yourself in a situation where you can grow your business in a way that resonates with you emotionally and spiritually and put you in a spot where you can have a fulfilling, successful, creative, professional career. So first of all, imagine what kind of work you want to be doing. That's the first thing that goes out the window a lot of times is you want to do video, and then you do some video for somebody and they're like, hey, can you do headshots for us? Like, yeah, I've got cameras, I'll do headshots for you. And then that goes and that goes and that goes. And soon you're doing a bunch of headshots, and then you get into real estate photography or something. And all of a sudden you realize, wow, I've spent my last year getting really good at something that I never wanted to do in the first place. And that may be a good means to an end for you if that's your goal. But the important part is to stop and think, what's important for you? Where do you want to go? And are you open to a pivot like that? Is that exciting? Is that still fulfilling? That's fine. Whatever your answer is fine. But the important thing is that you ask yourself the question, because if you don't, a lot of time will pass and you'll be just subconsciously in your head falling out of love with the work that you do. So take a minute to think about what kind of work you want to be doing and what element. If it's video production, what part of video production, commercial, Hollywood style, narrative, documentary, whatever these things are, social, YouTube, whatever, you need to know that when you go in. And as part of this audit, ask yourself, hey, for the past month, year, whatever, have I been working toward that? Am I straying from that? And I'm not here to tell you what to do with this. I'm telling you the power of taking a second to ask yourself what this should look like is a powerful thing you can do. The other thing you can do is ask, what type of clients are you imagining yourself working with? Do you want to work with huge corporations? Do you want to work with small nonprofits or medium-sized businesses? Do you want to work with education? Do you want to work with manufacturing? There's no wrong answers here, but I found a few years ago that I was doing a bunch of work for giant corporations that paid really well. But at the end of the day, I just didn't feel fulfilled. I felt like I had all these creative confines because I'm working with giant corporations through an agency that also had a marketing department there's a lot of stuff there that wasn't fulfilling for me, even though it was paying well and it was sustainable. And asking myself that question, I allow myself through an audit to say, I do want to do a little bit of that because it is good connections, it is practice on things that I might not get otherwise, and it is good money. Or I might want to say, man, I'm doing only that and I'm not making time for the other things that I want to be doing. And so asking these questions is important regardless of what you do with the answers. Then aside from that, the next thing to ask yourself is, imagine a day where your company is exactly where you want it to be. And when you started this, you probably had that in your mind, whether or not you formalized it or wrote it down. And I'm not telling you to write it down, though you could, but even taking a couple minutes to think, what does my job look like on a day-to-day basis when I've made it? What does success look like? Because if you're anything like me, you may think, hey, right now, this isn't the final form of where I want my company. But auditing yourself lets you measure, is your current day-to-day progressing toward your ideal day-to-day? Is it delineating from it? Is it wildly different? Is it going to change soon? Again, the answers here aren't important. What is important is that you take the time to ask yourself that question. And for me, like I said, I was doing a lot of work for these corporations and I was spending a lot of time writing emails, spending a lot of time talking to lawyers and things like that. And as I sit back and imagine what my dream day in a dream career is like, I'm not spending a ton of time writing emails. I'm not spending a bunch of time researching things that need to be red tape or legalese to make sure that the narratives are right. That's not my favorite part of the job. And it's something that I do a lot right now, but recognizing that eventually I'd like to do less of that. And if it's something that needs to be done, maybe I need to hire somebody or contract some of that work to someone else who does enjoy that. Or is it something where I can minimize it and still do it myself? Whatever that is, again, the answer here doesn't matter. The important thing is that you're asking yourself that question. But it's really powerful to imagine what your day-to-day life is. And I'll make another video sometime soon about how to do the same thing in your personal life and your family life and all that stuff, because it is very important. But for now, just taking that time to say, how much of my day do I want to spend editing? How much of my day do I want to spend on sales and talking to potential clients? How much do I want to spend in my email box? And regardless of what control you have over those things right now, understanding where you want to be with them is really important for shaping your company and the way that you grow it. And so ask yourself those questions and dive deeper and say, how much time do you want to spend? If it's video production, how much time do you want to spend editing? How much time do you want to spend doing effects or coloring? Are these things that you want to have other people do once you can afford to do that? Whether or not you can afford it right now, answer doesn't matter. What's important is that you're asking that question to yourself and then extrapolate that out further to say, now you know what you want your day-to-day to look like, whether or not you're there yet. And you can say, am I moving toward that? But the other cool thing you have the opportunity for right now is auditing what you want the feel of your company to be, the atmosphere of your career to be. And this is important not just for your attitude and to think, hey, what should my attitude be when I'm on a project? Should I be happy? Should I be focused? Should I be serious? Should I be collaborative? You should be a lot of things, and you get to choose those, but choose that ahead of time and write it down so that when you go to your next gig, you can remind yourself before you get out of your car or whatever, you can say, hey, I want to be relaxed and creative today and look for collaboration opportunities that I didn't look for before. And by writing that down and thinking about it when you're not in the moment, you give yourself the opportunity to recalibrate yourself in those instances to have the kind of day that you want to have. Instead of showing up flustered and solving problems, you can remind yourself to step back a little bit. So think about what you want your attitude to be, but then also think about what do you want the experience to be for your contractors or for your employees? What should a day feel like for them? Because you control that. You control what you feel like, and you control what sort of environment you set up for the people that work for you. And then the step beyond that is, how do you want your clients to feel after a shoot? What do you want them to be focused on? What do you want their experience to be? And how should they feel at the end of a shoot day? If it's, again, video production, but whatever your interaction is with clients, think about what you want that interaction to feel like for them. And there's no right answer here, whether or not you're doing that now, whether or not you have the ability to do that with the current clients you have isn't important. What's important is that you think about what you want that interaction to be like for yourself, for your employees, for your contractors, and for your clients. And by recognizing that, you can start to shift some things to work thoughtfully toward that. And that's the most important thing. So step back, audit your company. Think about the big picture of the kind of work you want to be doing. Think about what your day-to-day consists of and look for opportunities to offload that or to reorganize it. And then think about what the atmosphere for you personally and the people around you should be and how you want it to be, and pursue that thoughtfully, because that's going to be the key to having a successful, creative, professional career that you don't feel like you sold your soul to try to get. That's what I'm doing today, and it's probably a good day for you to do it too. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. It means a lot to me. Have a great day or night or whatever, wherever. See you later. Bye. Hey, why does this seem so much darker than yesterday? I don't think I changed anything. but it's darker.